Hello everyone, my name is Elspeth, you're watching the Planeswalker Pantheon. Today we are going to be opening up a set booster box of Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Anyways, enough talk, let's do this, shall we? Alright, so we're going to just pop these right open right here. I actually appreciate the small box. Honestly, a lot less bulky to deal with. I kind of wish that if there was a way to make set boosters, normal booster boxes this size, I'd be all for it. I think there's slightly less packs, so who knows. Alright, I'll put that over to the side. First pack. So we have our wonderful art card. Our land. Flick through the commons. We've got a Root Coil Creeper. Phantom Carriage, Faithful Mending, right there. Oh, we've got a Hound Tamer as our first alternate art card. Hey, our first rare is Rockfall Vale, so it's a land, it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control two or more other lands. Taps for red and green. And we've got a foil Abandon the Post, and oh, we've got a card from this, it's Exposed to Daylight. So that's not a bad start off. Let's see what the next one has, shall we? Alright, so we got our art card. I think that's what? Unblinking Observer. Whoops, I just flick it right out of my hand. Got our Swamp, some commons. Got a Blood Tithe Collector, Hungry for More, and Dawnheart Wardens as our uncommons. Got a Baneblade Scoundrel. Some commons. Oh, and our rare is Reckless Stormseeker. So for 2 and a red, you get a creature human werewolf. It's a 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of turn, and it has Daybound. So on the Nightbound side, it flips into Stormcharge Slasher. So 3/4 werewolf. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample and haste until end of turn. Got a foil Tavern Ruffian and a Beast Token. Yep. Next up. So we've got Moonlight Brutes as our art card. Our forest. Some commons. Oh, we've got an Ominous Roost. Scarbrangler. Shady Traveler in our alternate art. Ecstatic Awakener. Tavern Ruffian. And we've got our rare is Triska Decadfile. So for 1 and a blue, get a creature human wizard. It's a 1/3. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in your hand, you win the game. 3 and a blue to draw a card. We've got a foil Olivia's Midnight Ambush. And a human token. Alright. Got a Moonlight Regent as our art card. Flick through all of these. Oh, we've got Thermo Alchemist. We're already starting early with the uncommons. Cathartic Pyre, Purifying Dragon. Hey, we've actually got an Eloise Nephalia Sleuth from the Commander deck. So 3 and a blue and a black. Get a legendary creature human rogue. It's a 4/4. Whenever another creature you control dies, investigate. And whenever you sacrifice a token, you surveil 1. Got a Shady Traveler, Tavern Ruffian. We've got a Sungold Sentinel as our second rare. So for 1 and a white, you get a creature human soldier. It's a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. And if you have Covenant, you can pay 1 and a white. Choose a color. Sungold Sentinel gains hexproof from that color until end of turn and can't be blocked by creatures of that color until end of this turn. Activate this if you only control 3 creatures with different powers. We've got a foil Tavern Ruffian in that alternate artwork. Oh, and we've got a rare here from, I believe this is Dissension. Walking Archive. So 3 mana, get creature golem to 1/1. It has Defender. It comes into play with a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player draws a card for each +1/+1 counter on Walking Archive, and you can pay 2 white and a blue to put a +1/+1 counter on it. That's neat. Dissension, like the original Ravnica block, was a little bit before my time. So yeah, always happy to see cards from before I started playing in my list slot. Got a Duel for Dominance as our art card, a land, and we'll flick through these commons. Got a Vampire Socialite, Play with Fire, always nice to have a better shock. Hey, we've got a rare in our alternate art card slot here. We've got Adeline Resplendent Cathar. So for 1 and 2 white, the legendary creature human knight's a star 4 with vigilance. Adeline's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking the player or a planeswalker they control. So who doesn't love a Hero of Bladehold? Got a Beloved Beggar. Got a Harvestide Infiltrator, and we've also got a Geisa Glorious Resurrector. So for 2 and 2 black, a legendary creature human wizard's a 4/4. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creatures exiled with Geisa onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decayed. A foil Bird Admirer there as well, and a zombie with Decayed. Nice. I think I love it when it all comes together. Okay, got Arrogant Outlaw. Oh, we've got a foil land there. Flick through some of these commons. Oh, we already hit our uncommons. So we've got Unnatural Moonrise, Clear Shot, Bird Admirer as our alternate artwork flip, Shady Traveller. So our rare is Sareth the Viper's Fang. So for 2 and 2 green, get a legendary creature, Human Warlock, it's a 3/4. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. For 1 and tap, untap another target creature or land you control. Got a foil Moonrager Slash there, and we've got a Day-Night token. Alright, next up. I've got Wing Shredder, which is the flip to the Bird Admirer. Got an island, and we've got a zombie. We'll flick through these commons. First uncommon is Vivisection. Second uncommon is Necrosynthesis. Oh, we've got Tovolar Dire Overlord as our flip card for the pack. So for 1 red and a green, a legendary creature, human werewolf, it's a 3/3. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more werewolves and or werewolves, it becomes night. Then you may then transform any number of human werewolves you control, and it has Daybound, where it can be Tovolar the Midnight Scourge. So it's a 4/4 legendary creature werewolf. When it deals combat damage to when a wolf or werewolf deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. And for X, red and a green, can give a target wolf or werewolf you control +X+0 and trample until end of turn. So it gives you Kessig Wolf Run. Got a Tireless Hauler, Gale Drifter. Hey, we've also got Florian, Voldaren Scion. So for 1 black and a red, your legendary creature Vampire Noble. It has first strike. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponent's lost this turn. Exile 1 of those cards and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may play the exiled card this turn. Also got a foil Shady Traveller and a checklist card. Alright, next up. Alright, so our art card is, Larder Zombie. Got a Swamp. Flick through the commons. We got a Sacred Fire, Sunrise Cavalier, and we've actually got a rare from the Commander deck. So it's Visions of Ruin. So for 3 and already get a sorcery, each opponent sacrifices an artifact. For each artifact sacrificed this way, you create a treasure token. You can flash it back for 8 and 2 red. It costs X less to cast this way, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own in the battlefield or in the command zone. So that's interesting. Got a Gale Drifter, Burly Breaker. We've got Rem Carlos, Stalwart Slayer. So for 1 red and a white, you're a legendary creature. Human Knights, a 2/3 flying and haste. If a spell would deal damage to you or another permanent you control, prevent that damage. If a spell would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much +1 instead. Got a Blade Brand and another human token. Next up. It's funny, I kind of find Collector's Boosters easier to work out than this. So we've got Arlen Cord there. in the set. We've got the mountain. We'll flick through. Hey, we've already hit the uncommons. So we've got a Field of Ruin, Fading Hope, Dissipate. We have Tireless Hauler as one of our flips. We've also got a Dawnheart Rejuvenator as another alt art. Got a Dawnheart Mentor as our third alt art. This is the alt art pack right here. And our rare is Siphon Insight. So for blue and a black in an instant, with the top 2 cards of target opponent's library, exile one of them face down and put the other on the bottom of their library. You may look at and play the exiled card for as long as it remains exiled, and you can spend mana as though it were mana of any colour to cast that spell. You can flash it back for 1 blue and a black. We also have a foil Path to the Festival, and we got one of our little booster games on the back of a Devil token. I'm actually kind of happy that they're sticking the fun games on the back of tokens instead of just having them take up a whole space. At least it means that they're using all of the card's real estate. Alright, so we've got Field of Ruin as our art card. Got a Forest. Got some commons here. Got a Morbid Opportunist. Ghoulish Procession. Alt art Tavern Ruffian. Got a Harvestide Infiltrator. Birdamara in the alternate artwork. Oh, and our rare is a Slaughter Specialist. So, for 1 and a black, you get a 3/3 creature vampire warrior. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on the specialist. Nice, we've got a foil Timberland Guide, and we've got a zombie token with Decade. Alright. We've got Delver. I'm actually kind of middling on this artwork. I kind of like the original better. But Plains. Flick through the commons. We've got a Sunset Revelry. Gavny Dawn Guard. Dawnheart Wardens. Flame Channeler. Delver of Secrets. And our rare is Jadar Gulcor of Nephalia. So for 1 and a black, your legendary creature, human wizard, it's a 1/1. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decade, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decade. Got a foil Rise of the Ants. Oh, we've got an Undead Side, kind of on flavour actually, considering this is an Innistrad, from the list. So 2 and a white, 2/2 white, tap exile target skeleton, vampire, or zombie. That's kind of oddly on flavour considering this is Innistrad. Alright. We've got Storm the Festival as our art card. Island. And we'll flick through these. Yep. So we've got Dawnheart Wardens, Dawnheart Mentor, Tireless Hauler, Outland Liberator, Covert Cutpurse, got a Deserted Beach, so this is the blue-white land of the cycle, a foil Festival Crutches, and we got a Chatter the Squirrel in the old border, the Odyssey Old Border. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see, what else we got? Someone would probably want that. Alright, so we've got Moonveil. Oh, we've got a signed Moonveil Region art card. Got a Forest. Flick through these. Got a Nebelgast Intruder. Firement Sage. Oh, we've got Averson's Memorial. So from the Human Commander deck. 5 and triple white. You get a legendary artifact. Indestructible. Other legendary opponents you control have Indestructible. Alright, so Tiles Hauler as our alt art. Got a Falcon Wrath Pit Fighter. So for 1 red, you get a creature, Vampire Warrior. It's a 2/1. 1 and a red, discard a card, sacrifice a vampire, draw 2 cards, activate only if an opponent lost life this turn. Have a foil Candle Trap and another little checklist card. Alright. We've got Spectral Adversary as our art card. Oh, we've got a Foil Mountain. 2. Foil Mountain's always nice. Flick through these. So we've got a Blade Stitch Scarb, Corpse Cobble, Candlegrove Witch is an alternate art. Dawnheart Rejuvenate is another alt art. Got a Bereaved Survivor. And we've got a Primal Adversary, so this is the green adversary of the cycle. So 2 and a green, you get a creature wolf. It's a 4/3 with trample. That's already kind of push. I'm happy to play that regardless. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 and a green any number of times. When you play this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on the adversary. And up to that many target lands you control become 3/3 green wolf creatures that are still lands. That's Gavny Trapper. And we've got a Ren 7 artwork. Sorry, Ren 7 emblem, not artwork. Jeez. What are you doing? It is technically artwork because there is art on the card, but come on now. Oh, we got Primal Adversary again. I mean, that's a nice bit of turning. We've got a Plains. Flick through these commons. We've got a Contortionist Troop. Join the Dance. Outland Liberator. As our some of our alternates. We've got a Harvestide Infiltrator as well. Hound Tamer, and we've got a Geistflame Reservoir. So for 2 and a red, you get an artifact. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge count on the reservoir. 1 in red and tap, remove any number of charge counters from it if it deals that much damage to any target. 1 in red, tap, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. We've got a foil Dawnheart Rejuvenator right there. And we've got a Zombie with Decayed. You'd think I know where my cards are by now. Alright, so we got Sareth the Viper's Fang. A Swamp. We'll flick through some red commons. We've got a Flesh Taker. This artwork is terrifying. Odric's Outrider. Baneblade Scoundrel as our alternate artwork. Got a Kessig Naturalist. Shady Traveller. And our rare is Old Stick Fingers. I always thought it was Old Sticky Fingers, but clearly I was wrong because it's Stick Fingers. So X green and a black, you get a legendary creature horror. It's a star. When you cast a spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Oh, we've got a foil Delver as well, which is always nice. And hey, a nice little throwback to good old Dominaria. It's Tempest Djinn. Who remembers the model blue aggro deck that came out of this? So for triple blue, you get a creature Djinn. It's an 0/4 with flying. It's +1/+0 for each basic island you control. Next up. Alright, so we've got a Skulking Predator. Oh, foil Swamp. Got some commons. Oh, already hit the uncommons. Obsessive Astronomer. Moonsilver Key. Shady Traveller as our first alt art. Tavern Ruffian as our second alt art. Got a Candlegrove Witch, which is our third alt art. Got an Heirloom Mirror. Oh, we've got the Meat Hook Massacre. So for X and 2 black legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. When a creature an opponent control dies, you gain 1 life. We've got a foil Vivisection and a human token. There we go. We've got Village Reavers as our art card. We've got an island. We will flick through all of these. Got a Ritual of Hope, Cathar's Call, Fangblade Brigand as our alt art flip card, Vengeful Strangler, Warning Patrol, and we've got the Hostile Hostel. It's a land, tap to colors, 1 and tap, sacrifice a creature, put a soul counter on the hostile, then if there are 3 more soul counters on it, remove those counters, transform it, then untap it, activate only as a sorcery, and it becomes the Creeping Inn. So it's an artifact creature horror construct. It's a 3/7. When it attacks, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with Creeping Inn. And pay 4 to phase it out. Got a foil Blessed Defiance and a Day-Night track. Next up. We've got Oh, we've got Jaren, the corrupted bishop, as our art card. Got our planes. We will flick through these. Yep. Got Lunar Frenzy, Storm Skrillex, Dawnheart Rejuvenator, Tavern Ruffian as our alt arts. Got a Morning Patrol. And our rare is Unnatural Growth. So for 1 and 4 green, in an enchantment at the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Oh, we've actually got a foil rare here. It's the Consuming Blob. So for 3 and 2 green, you get a creature ooze. It's a star and star +1. Its power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. So it's effectively Tarmogoyf at 5 mana. At the beginning of your end step, create a green ooze creature token with that same power and toughness. But doesn't actually create its own. Hey, we got a Goblin Lore. These are kind of expensive. Or at least they were at one point. I don't know if they've still kept that price. So 1 and a red, you get a sorcery, draw 4 cards, and then put them into your hand, then discard 3 cards at random from your hand. I don't know if they're still expensive, but hey, Goblin Lore is always nice to have. Isn't that nice old border too? We've got Tolvar Dire Overlord as our art card. Got our land. Look through. Oh, we've got a Rite of Oblivion. Grizzly Ghoul. Harvestide Infiltrator. Shady Traveller. Outland Liberator as our old art cards. And we've still got more old art cards. I know I thought we stopped. Spellrune Painter. And our rare is Ludwig Necrogenius. So for a blue and a black, you get a legendary creature human wizard. It's a 2/3. Whenever Ludwig enters the battlefield or attacks, mill a card. For X, 2 blue and 2 black, exile X creature cards from your graveyard, transform Ludwig. X can't be 0. Activate only as a sorcery, which will then have him become Olag Ludwig's Hubris. It's a 4/4 legendary creature zombie. As this creature transforms into Olag, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it, except its name is Olag. It's a 4/4 and it's a legendary blue and black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on Olag equal to the number of creature cards exiled with it. Got an Organ Hoarder, and we've got another Magic mini game. This one actually has both sides, which is nice. There we go, next pack. Alright, so we got the Creeping In as our art card. So a swamp. Click through our commons, and we've already hit our uncommons. We've got Defend the Celestis, Borrowed Time, and we've got Visions of Dominance. We got the frog who will eventually be what's his name? The giant-ass toad in original Innistrad. I've got the name of it. But anyway, so 2 and a green, it's a sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, then double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Flashback for 8 and 2 green, it costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest value of the commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. Can't believe I've forgotten the name of that creature. Anyways, Dawnheart Rejuvenator, Tireless Hauler as our flip cards. Oh, we've got a Champion of the Perished as well. So for a single black, you get a creature zombie. It's a 1/1. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on the Champion of the Perished. Got a Candlelit Cavalry and another checklist card. The fact that I can't remember the name of that card now is bothering me. I can see the card too in my head, which is what hurts me more. Alright, our art card. Oh, it's a mountain. Hey, it's a different mountain, but hey, we've still got a mountain as our art card. We've got a mountain here. Flick through these commons. We have a Digraph Rebirth, Dreadhound. Oh, we've got Slowgark the Overslime as our alt art. So for 1 green and a blue, you get a legendary creature Ooze. It's a 3/3 with trample. Whenever a land is put into your graveyard from anywhere, put +1/+1 counter on Slowgark. Remove 3 +1/+1 counters from Slowgark to return to its owner's hand. And when it leaves the battlefield, return up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. We have a Tavern Ruffian, got an Ambitious Farmhand. We've also got Light Up the Night. So for X and a red, you get a sorcery. It deals X damage to any target. It deals X plus 1 instead. If that target is a creature or a planeswalker, you can flash it back for 3 in red and remove X loyalty counters from among planeswalkers you control. Got a foil Shadow Beast Sighting. I've got an gold air elemental in Old Border. Cool. It's a 4/4 for 5. Yeah, it's nothing special these days. Like, you know, this is the days when creatures have definitely gotten a lot better. I remember there was a time where, at least from what I've heard, creatures were awful in Magic, and it was all about the spells. All about the magic, they may say. Got a Can't Stay Away with all the pretty cats. Got an island, and we've got some commons. Got a Seize the Storm, Arcane Infusion, Fangblade Brigand as our first alt art flip. Got Baneblade Scoundrel, Harvestide Infiltrator. I've got a Curse of Leeches. So for 2 and a black in enchantment or a curse, enchant player, when it transforms, as this permanent transforms into Curse of Leeches, attach it to a player. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, they lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. And it can actually flip into Leeching Lurker. So it's a 4/4 with lifelink and it is Nightbound. Got a foil Blood Pact. Hey, we've got another Blast from the Past from Ravnica. Why is most of our list cards coming from Ravnica? It's Orzhova, the Church of Deals. It's a land, tap to add 1 to your mana pool. 3 black and white, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So that's our second Ravnica, old Ravnica, OG Ravnica actually, really, card from the list. Alright. We've got, Sigarda as our art card. Got a mountain. Flip through the commons. Got a Loyal Griff. Dualcraft Trader. It's got Sareth the Viper's Fang in the cool alternate artwork. I won't read it out because we already know what that does. Got a Bird Admirer. Dawnheart Mentor. As all of our alt art. It's got a Shady Traveller. We've also got Grafted Identity. Let's be real, this artwork looks like Nicolas Cage in Face Off. So for 2 and 2 blue, you get Enchantment Aura. It has additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Enchant creature, you control enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Got a foil defense rate and a vampire token. Next up. Got an Overgrown Farmland as our art card. Got a Plains. Flick through these commons. Got Dryad's Revival as our first uncommon. Brood Weaver. Candle Growth Witch as our first alt art. Tavern Ruffian as our second alt art. We have a Bird Admirer. And hey, we got a Teferi who slows the sunset. So for 2 white and a blue, you get a legendary Planeswalker Teferi. Starts at 4 loyalty. Plus is 1 up 1 loyalty to have 1 target artifact up to 1 target creature and 1 target land. Untap the chosen permanents. Tap the chosen permanents you don't control. And you gain 2 life. Now, so choose up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target land. Untap the chosen permanents you control. Tap the chosen permanents you don't control and you gain 2 life. -2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Then -7, you get an emblem with untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step, and you may draw a card during each opponent's draw step. Pardon me. Oh hey, we've also got a Denic Pious Apprentice in foil and in the alt art. So for white and a blue, you get a legendary creature, Human Soldier. It's a 2/3 with lifelink. Cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities, and you can disturb them for 2 and 2 white and a blue, where it will be Denic Pious Apparition. Legendary creature Spirit Soldier, it's a 3/2 flying. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into graveyards from anywhere, investigate. This ability triggers once each turn, and if it would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. And we have a wolf. A wolf. Alright, next up. So we've got a Moonlight Brute, with the nice foily stamp. Got a Foil Forest. Flick through these. Alright, so we've got an Infernal Grasp. Foul Play, 2 kill spells, you can't complain about that. Spellroom Painter in the alternate art. Got a Candle Grove Witch. Death Bonnet Sprout. And our rare is Bribery Tracker. So for 2 and a green, you get a creature human scout. It's a 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, investigate. As long as you control a token, it gets +2/+0. And we've also got a foil Winterthorn Blessing right there, and a human token to go along with it. Alright, next. We have a Seasoned Cathar. Got a Swamp. Flick through these commons. We've got a Thermal Alchemist. Let's be real, this should have been an uncommon when it was first printed. Cathartic Pyre. Bird Admirer in our alt art. Got a Tireless Hauler. Shady Traveller. And we've got a normal Slowgark, the Overslime right here. Well, we've got a foil rare in Bloodline Culling. So for 1 and 2 black in an instant, choose one target creature that's -5/-5 until end of turn, or creature tokens get -2/-2 until end of turn. Huh, this one's got like a weird feel to the foiling, as though they left a whole layer of foiling off. And we've got another 2-sided rule game there. Alright, next up, this is the third last pack, actually, now that I'm looking at the box. So we got Jadar the Ghoul-Caller, a Swamp, and let's flick through these. Got a Rise of the Ants, Turn the Earth, Winterthorn Blessing, Dawnheart Rejuvenator as our old art, Baithook Angler, Fangblade Brigand, which flips into that. Our rare is Suspicious Stowaway. So for 1 and a blue, get a creature, human, rogue, werewolf. That's a mouthful. It can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card and then discard a card, and you have Daybound. So when it flips, it still can't be blocked. It's a 2/1 instead, and when it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card and you don't discard, and it has Nightbound. We've also got a foil Firement Sage. And another game. Alright, second last pack. We've got, it's Lier, a Disciple of the Drowned. Got a Island, and we will flick through these. We have a Voldaren Ambusher, Stormkirk Bloodthief. Let's be real, this creature could have had flying, and we wouldn't have cared. Tavern Ruffian as our alt art. Flame Channeler, Covetous Castaway. And we've got Ghoul-Caller's Harvest. So for a black and a green, you get a sorcery. Create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decayed, where X is half the number of creature cards in your graveyard rounded up. You can flash it back for 3, a black and a green. Oh, we've got a Foil Duress right there. Got a checklist card as well. And here is the last pack right here. We've got a Flesh Taker, an Island, flick through some lovely commons, have a Purifying Dragon, Sacred Fire, got a Hound Tamer in the alternate art, got a Fangblade Brigand also in the alternate art, got a Bird Admirer, hey, we've also got Arlen the Pax Hope. When we hit 2 Planeswalkers in this box, which isn't bad. So for 2 red and a green, you get a legendary Planeswalker Arlen, starts at 4 loyalty, has Daybound. +1 until your next turn, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash, and each creature spell you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. -3 to create 2/2 green wolf creature tokens, and when it becomes night, she becomes Arlen the Moon's Fury. Nightbound, you can +2 to add a red and a green. Or 0 until end of turn, she becomes a 5/5 werewolf creature with trample, indestructible, and haste. Got a Broodweaver, and got a beast token to end it all off. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. Lets people know that we exist. You can follow me on Twitter. Links will be down below. You can also find us at the Planeswalker Pantheon on Facebook. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.